Hi, everyone. Welcome to our presentation on social exchange theory. My name is Lindsay Palmer, and Nicole Chandler and I are excited to share some of our insights with you so that we can all understand this theory a little bit better. So for just a little bit of background, the social exchange theory has had a lot of different contributors throughout the years. First, we had Kelly in 1959, and then Homans in 1961. Then we moved on to Blah in 1964, and more recently, Nye in 1979. And that's just to name a few. Each of these anthropologists and sociologists have contributed their own ideas for this theory that have shaped it into what we have today. And today we've chosen to look at three of Holman's propositions that we felt best explain this theory.
So kind of a basis on this theory is when we go to make a decision, whether it's just a personal decision or if it deals with other people, but we kind of look at it in this regard. We look at what it's going to cost us. Now that cost can be anywhere from money to time to energy to even embarrassment. And then you have the reward, or so what you get out of it. And then you take those and you add them together. And that gives you what the value of that is, or the profit. And that can be different for everybody, because what I might be like, oh, that's a lot of time. It's not, that time might be worth a different amount to me than to maybe you. So that makes it hard because there's not a set definition for cost or reward or even the value. So it is very different for everybody, but it's still the process that we kind of go through as we make a decision or try to decide what to do or not to do. So one of the propositions that we wanted to look at is the success proposition, and it states that when one finds that we are rewarded for our actions, they continue to repeat that action. An example of this is my kids last summer came to me and wanted to go to the pool. That's not far from our home, and I told them we could, but they first had to clean their bedroom. So they went, they cleaned their bedroom, and we went to the pool. And after that, I didn't even have to ask them to clean their bedroom because they knew that if they cleaned their bedroom, then we could go to the pool. So they would go clean their room and then come to me and say, our room is clean. Now can we go to the pool? So they had learned that if it was clean, they would receive the reward of getting to go to the pool. The second proposition that we wanted to look at is called the stimulus proposition. And that is more often that a particular stimulus has resulted in an award in the past, the more likely a person will respond to it. And an example for this is my son. He hates spelling. And I struggled to get him to even practice his spelling words. Then one day I finally got him to sit down and play some spelling games and, focus on his spelling. And he found out that he did actually really well on his spelling test. And so after that, I didn't have to fight him to do his spelling. And part of it is because it was fun. And the second part was that he found that if he studied, then he would do better, and doing better was his reward.
So the third proposition that we looked at is called the deprivation satiation proposition. And it reads, the more often in the recent past a person has received a particular reward, the less value any further unit of that reward becomes for him. So basically it's saying that the more often a person is rewarded, the less value that reward starts to have in the long run. So an example of this would be when you were a kid and your parents used to pay you, say, $2 to clean the living room. When you first started doing it, that was really great. You got paid for doing a simple chore. But then as you grew up, that $2 wasn't as valuable to you, so you cared less about doing that chore.
Whoa. I'll replace your sled and everything in it. And I understand if you don't want to help me anymore.
Of course I don't want to help her anymore. In fact, This whole thing has ruined me for helping anyone ever again. She'll die on her own. I can live with that. But you won't get your new sled if she's dead. Sometimes I really don't like you. Hold up! We're coming!
You are? I mean, sure. I'll let you tag along.
So in this example, Christoph and Sven are seeking the reward and avoiding the costs. At first, Christoph didn't want to help Anna because he felt that there was no benefit to him by doing this. He only thought about how sad he was that he had lost his sled and how he really didn't want to go on this journey. But then when he looked more closely at his options, he realizes that if he doesn't help Anna, that he'll never get a new sled. And the cost of that, not getting that sled, was greater than helping Anna in the long term and getting his sled back. So that is our presentation on social exchange theory, and we hope that that has helped you guys understand the theory and a little bit about it better. Thanks.